All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Toronto Mounties and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
So second down, 3 yards to go now.
Let's go!
On play action, they'll throw. And right away, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play, only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front, the linebackers, everyone got involved and forced a fourth down.
A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. And a give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Let's go!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. 2 yards to go here on third down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down. They bring their punter out there now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon.
3rd and 2, and they ran the ball for only 1 yard, and everybody's going to scream at the offense. Let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now this offense ready to take over again. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play. Yeah.
That too.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Shaq Lawson in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And they'll send out their punter now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And that's blocked. The Steelers get it. Now it's picked up inside the 45. And with points at an extreme premium here in a 0-0 game, that could be a big special teams play right there.
That's an advantage play. Someone create an advantage for their team, give them an opportunity, and special teams is usually a terrific starting point for that. Blocking the punt, now they've given themselves a chance, and it sees momentum.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under pressure, and down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon. 3rd down now following the run. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got some space here. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now a whistle and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go now.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. So it'll be first down here after the run.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Seated to my right, Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Toronto football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. All week in practice, they stressed grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the first down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. That means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of popping last week, and they got it done in the game. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking it about the 36.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and you're
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll look to throw here. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's what...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty. But there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to work his way down to the 16. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Second down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
His pass caught at the 4. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Well, I see what they were trying to do there. You pop up your holder, roll him out. You got the option to run or pass. This didn't work.
Not at all. And the communication was excellent defensively to make sure that receivers were covered as they escaped from the line of scrimmage, because that's supposed to be a surprise to everyone, and that's how they get free. People forget their assignments on defense. That didn't happen. And think about the guy rolling out with the football, looking for an open person, no one there.
Helpless feeling.
Helpless, because that gap between you and defenders now is going to close and close quickly.
Here we go.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. 23 yards on the play.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And that'll be good enough for the first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And he will find his man on the outside. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. So they bring out their punter. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Yeah, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. And he's got his man on the out route. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Back to throw now on 1st down. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Defense maybe trying to guess the snap count there, and it costs them 5 yards. Call it a gain of 5. Again, he'll drop to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Simple slant route, and it works to perfection.
And when you're a big-bodied receiver, you use it like it's a basketball play. Body the defender away and catch the football.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he will find his man on the outside. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, But you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Still first down.
All right, now look at 56. Check three.
And quick. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
That boy's got four down. Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he knocks it through. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
It's a pickup of 5. Brings up second down. And they're going to speed things up here. Here's Newton now on second down. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't. Yeah, that's perfect. 2. Davis, deep. Hey, I got to go. Okay, and sorry about that. Didn't know Larry got cut off early. We are back and ready for the third quarter. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Now a handoff here to his running back. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And on now is the punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Taken in at the 22. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the defense heading back out here on the road. Last drive, touchdown surrendered. Here, see if they can stop them.
It's always a constant battle of letting the last series go, good or bad, but especially bad. Give up a touchdown. Okay, forget the finger pointing, forget the blame. Go back out and play the defense you know you're capable of and help your team out.
And probably look to the leaders, as always.
As always. They're going to be the ones going to grab some people and say, all right, let's do this thing.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And they give this time to the tailback. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Third down and 3. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
And that's understanding where the markers are because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you could actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
So this is the 2nd consecutive week as you look at the numbers that he just doesn't seem to have the same pop as we normally see him with.
Is there an injury we don't know about?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because that's a legitimate question right now. We're used to speed, power, all coming together. And what I've always loved about him is his vision. You know, last week he didn't have that as well. Always thought he was picking the wrong hole to try and run through. And his blockers, they seem to be getting him to the right place, but he picked the wrong spot. We're seeing some of that again this week. Can they snap it together? Can they get back in sync? Because normally we see them go together very, very well.
And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it. But don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
They'll look to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, landing.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll go to the air here. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. Fielded about a yard deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. On play action, they'll throw. He's got time in the pocket. And some room to roam now. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Looking left side, and it's complete. They'll get 17 yards there. And that enables them to also pick up the first. They'll look to throw now on first down. That is caught. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver with touchdown number 8 on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Steelers' offense now, they head back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him, sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Back now here on EA Sports. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Backing up. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been terrific so far.
And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area.
12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone, A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And now out come the Steelers. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game. Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Offense still needing 10 yards, second down.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
He'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. 18 yards there and a first down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver, and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. No gain on the play there, second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Give him 7 on the play, and just like that, it's third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
He's got time. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line.
Offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. So many times tight games decided by one big play. You know, a lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know, head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
All right, here we go.
They go play action here on first down. Under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And here now the offense heading back out there. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice. The play clock's running down. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
Getting late in the 4th now, Charles. 2-minute warning just around the corner.
Yeah, some teams just want to get to that spot, take a breath, and then come out and attack for the rest of the game.
Newton. He's got his man on the comebacker. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he stopped immediately there. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And to give this time to the tailback. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And they'll run it here. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the 4th quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, man.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play of who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong. I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the...